Welcome to Ln space where sigma dx over dt applies when t equals 1 equals 0. Where energy is infinite limitless in flux yet remains the same trans-dimensional constant and abundant. We summarize this as Ural, behold, the light.
Whenever we decide to go off-road on our Ural, and suddenly we find ourselves in muck. It's the usual thing that happens on a Ural. And the other thing that happens, and if you look right there, is that the muck scraper for the rear wheel is the prop shaft. And the prop shaft just gets covered in muck. Now that's okay, because the prop shaft will still turn, it'll make a tunnel in it, and it'll still do its thing. But what's not okay is when you come home and you find you have to go out and do something, by the time you come back to this piece of muck, you've sort of forgotten that it was there, and it's gotten rock hard. So, what happens next is a disaster. This is the rock hard piece of muck, and it was wrapped around the prop shaft, and what it effectively did was there's a little boot, and we'll go and look at that in just a second, and it destroyed that boot. And here's this rubber boot, and you can see it's all destroyed, all tore up, and it protects this, which is a sliding spline that the prop shaft needs. When the suspension is moving up and down, that has to move back and forth. So anyways, that's all tore up now, and from Heindel Engineering I've been able to buy these. They're $12 a piece, and they take about a week to get here, but I want to use my Ural now. So what am I going to do about it? Well, let's have a look. Well, watching TV gave me some ideas. There's a guy who blew holes in the bottom of a boat with a cannon, and he sealed them up with Flex Seal. And I thought to myself, well, what the hey, why don't I give this a shot? So, that's what I'm going to do to fix this little problem of mine. I cut this little boot off. As you can see, the edges were just destroyed by that mud. You know, I didn't have to drive far to do this, and I didn't have to take a month to do it. It did it probably in about a 20-minute drive to go get gas. So that's what it did, destroyed it. Now, to replace this, I have to remove the rear wheel, and then I have to take the rear hub out of the frame so that the prop shaft comes clear of it, put on the new boot, and then put it all back together again. So, you know, there's a good 2-hour job. And it's a bit of a sweat because you've also got splines on the prop shaft to the sidecar wheel. So, you know, everything has to get disturbed. There's not one thing you can sort of get away with. So it is a job. So that's why I'm going to see what a quickie fix with Flex Seal does, and then I'm going to see how long the Flex Seal holds. And if the Flex Seal holds, I was thinking, well, I've already bought these boots and they're going to come in and I'll have them in stock, but the thing is, why go to all the hassle of replacing that boot if the Flex Seal is going to be just as good a job? So let's go and see what happens. Now I put some paper in front of the wheel and by the prop shaft there. I've shook the can, and can I get in there to actually spray it? Let's see what happens here. Let's get a better camera angle. Okay, now what I got to do is roll her uh, backward, I guess. Get the shaft on a spot where I didn't hit it. Okay, now try and hit it again. This is, by the way, a one-handed film-o-vision, leaning over Ural. So if it's a little bit shaky or weird, you know why. Well, okay, well, that got that. I was expecting to see like a big, thick sort of blanket of stuff, you know, like as if I'd taken tape and covered it with tape. I guess not. Okay, now just roll her forward and inspect. Did I miss anywhere? And nope. It looks like I got her all the way around. Okay, so now I'll just let that set up for a short while and we'll see how that works. So this is 5 minutes into it, and it still looks kind of wet. I haven't dabbed my finger down on there yet, but you know, I'm reminded of that commercial. I tore out the bottom of a boat and put a screen door in it. Then I went across a swamp full of alligators and piranhas, all held together with Flex Seal. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's good. But is it Ural tough? We'll see. Well, I've checked it, and there is a coating on there. I guess if I had got the black or the white, I would have seen it actually shielded, shrouded. But I got the clear, so you know, you run your finger up to it and you realize that there's a rubber barrier there. I don't know what the travel is on those splines and whether you know, it'll fatigue that rapidly and cause it to tear. I'm not sure about that. But for the time being, it seems to be pretty good, which gives me a new idea. And of course, by considering the new idea, it's these daft things down here on the Brembo front brake that wear out all the time, and the plastic grommet that's on there, they split and break off kind of rapidly. As you can see, there's now a lot of play in there. Now, I have peened these down several times, okay, and taken up the play, but it's short order till they're like that again. Funnily enough, I found these same units, just a bit smaller, on my wheel horse garden tractor. And so I went to the wheel horse catalog, and there I looked up the parts. I contacted Wheel Horse, and well, my Wheel Horse Toro dealer, and they didn't have them in stock, but they had another catalog, and they started looking through there for me. Now, here's the thing, is that that's the company who makes them, and there they are, new in the packet. Okay, and these cost about $7 a piece. But if I go to any of the Ural dealerships, this with the tie rod that goes between and the other one as a complete unit is over $100 for a bit of all thread and two $7 fittings. So anyways, I will be replacing those. They're made by a company called Rotary. Okay, and I'll be replacing these fairly soon. But in the meantime, I'm just going to give them a spray with this clear Flex Seal and see how that holds up. Quick paper dam with the paper that I used a little while ago for the prop shaft. Now I'm going to spray this. Well, surprise, surprise. It appears, this is after a couple of days of use, that the Flex Seal is holding and doing a pretty good job. I'm really surprised at this, and now I'm scratching my head as to what else Flex Seal can do. For instance, if I aimed Flex Seal at an old leaky Harley, could that actually be the solution? I have tried everything to stop my shovel head from leaking. I strip it down, I pull the seals out, put new seals in, I check the shafts to make sure that they are round and not oval or scored or anything like that. And for the first month or so, I'm sitting there saying, man, I finally conquered the shovel head. It don't leak. And then a month and one day, and there's a puddle underneath it. So now I'm starting to think, maybe Flex Seal is the friend of old Harley people. No, I'm not an old Harley person. I mean, I'm a person who has old Harleys. Okay. Well, anyways, that was my quick fix. Of course, when the boots come in that I ordered for my prop shaft on my Ural, I will install one of those, and I will be reinstalling the what do you call those dang things? The ball joints on the connecting shaft for the Brembo brake to the fork. And so the Flex Seal is, in my opinion, an excellent stopgap while you're waiting for parts. An excellent idea, if you're, let's say, traveling somewhere and you're 500 miles from home, and you're worried about whether crap and water and stuff will get in there, and start to wear things out. So I would say that you get that little can of Flex Seal, which is about $7, and just keep it in your toolkit, because there's going to be some time when you may just need that quickie fix to get you home. And I think Flex Seal's up to the job. Okay, now to take my Ural down to a swamp full of alligators and piranhas and see if I can cross it.